turkey, but I'm glad to see you came dressed and ready to impress for tonight's game.
Yeah, I pretty much slammed into the suit. I'm really surprised that I was able to button it.
I didn't even try to button the jacket today. I went with the sweater vest.
Good call by you, Scott. Preparation for this one as the team comes back. Yeah, thankfully a big win against Illinois State to close out the Paradise Jam, but this team needs to kind of correct some errors that they found in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, they committed a lot of turnovers out there. I don't know if they had sand in their shoes or what was going on from running on the beach, but they got to figure out a way to take care of the basketball, play together, and get some more stops defensively.
In that last win against Illinois State, 68-63, a little bit of a lineup change, Scott, as Bryce Okpo and J.J. Rhymes in for the likes of Jenkins and Carlos Johnson.
Yeah, and they delivered. You know, J.J. Rhymes is all hustle and muscle. This guy just plays harder than the people that he has to go up against, and he's successful. If you can outwork your opponent, you can get by with some of the limitations. So he's not a great shooter from the outside, but he just goes out there, like I say, and hustles. And Bryce Okpo, what can you say about the job that he did in that game on the glass? 8 boards, and 3 of those were timely offensive rebounds when the Lopes needed a second chance.
8 rebounds, a debut for the freshman, the best D1 era debut for a GCU freshman. He came out and was very active. J.J. Rhymes, by the way, will get the start. He'll be inserted into the starting lineup for Lorenzo Jenkins. Isaiah Brown responded, a career-high 21 points.
I really like the way Isaiah Brown is finding his niche on the scoring end. He realizes he can shoot the long ball, but he's also got that strength to be able to take it inside, finish with contact around the basket. Doing a nice thing to Coach Marley's bunch right there. They need some scoring when they got some guys that are still waiting to come back after the first of the year.
Career high 5 threes as well in that 21-point performance for him. Carlos Johnson didn't get the start, but he came back in. He had 8 rebounds in the game. He certainly shined in the first 2 games despite the team losing.
Yeah, he seems, I always want to say, hey, Carlos, drive that ball to the bucket because that's where your strength lies. But if they're going to sag off him so far, he can get clean looks like this in ball reversal, then he might as well go ahead and shoot the 3 because then it's just a long free throw if you have a chance to get your feet set, your shoulders squared to the basket. It's the ones off the dribble drive and the step backs that make me a little bit nervous. That's why I think myself and maybe some people on that coaching staff would like to see him just use his power and power it onto the basket.
The Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne come in. They have a record of 4-5. They're coming off a very impressive win against the likes of Niagara University.
Yeah, Godfrey is an absolute stud. I mean, this guy's flat out getting it done. Averages 14.3 points per game, almost 4.5 rebounds a game, shoots 36% from behind the arc. And he's 4th in the nation in minutes played. So he stays on the court. Big part of what Coach Koppel wants from his squad.
Had 17 points in the win against Niagara, had 24 points against UNLV in their first game of the season in a loss to the Runnin' Rebels. That sets things up as the Lopes return home from a trip to the Virgin Islands. Thankfully, they come back, Kate, with a big win to close things out.
And hopefully they're ready to defend outside the arc, guys. Purdue, one of the best teams shooting in the 3, or at least they take the most 3-point attempts, top 5 here in the nation. So what are you expecting, Scott, for the Lopes to do? What do they need to go out there and kind of take away one of the strengths of their opponent?
Yeah, this team is 4th in the nation in 3-point made field goals, so you don't want to give them opportunities. Like I was saying, Carlos Johnson, when he gets a chance to get his feet set, is a very deadly shooter. So what the Lopes want to do is go out there and play those guys to run them off of that 3-point line. Make them play inside the yard. Not in the house, not that painted area, not out there on the street where they can burn you out there behind the 3-point line. That area between the painted area and the 3-point line. Lopes do that, they'll come out victorious tonight.
All right, we'll see how they can defend that tonight. We'll see how it all plays out. But when we come back, we are going to check in with the Lopes insider. While we were feasting on turkey dinner, this guy got the tough job. He had to head out to the U.S. Virgin Islands to follow the Lopes squad. We'll check in with Paul Coro on the Paradise Jam when we come back here on the Lopes Pregame Show.
November is known for Thanksgiving and Black Friday sales. Sanderson Ford is changing Black Friday to Blue Friday to show our support for law enforcement. Purchase a new Expedition with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $7,000 cash back. Save 20% off on EcoSport, Escape, Edge, Fusion, and Fiesta. Similar savings on over 500 trucks in stock. Plus, get a Ring doorbell to help protect your family and our community. Don't miss the Blue Friday sales event on now at Sanderson Ford.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
Can't keep the purple profs away. That's right, a couple GCU professors right now. You're getting the text. Yes, you're on TV. Pick your head up. Say hi. We'll come back to you and check in on that. All right, Kate Longworth and the Lopes Insider, Paul Goro coming at you live here on the Lopes Pregame show on Fox 10 Extra. Thank you so much for spending the holiday weekend here with us, and I'm glad to have Paul back. He is back.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Thankful for you. Thankful you're back here on U.S. soil after, well, I guess you were still U.S. Virgin Islands, but tell me what the trip was like to St. Thomas as you had your eyes on the Lopes.
Yeah, well, nobody's going to complain too much about a trip to the Caribbean. But
we're not going to let you. We got the short stick. We stayed home. Short straw.
But 1 and 2 probably isn't ideal. There was good moments and bad moments. Unfortunately, they started off playing really well in the first game against Valpo, but they had a 20 free throw disparity in that game that was really difficult to overcome and frustrating for the team. They had some moments down the stretch of that game where it sort of got away anyway, but Carlos Johnson and Isaiah Brown had the big finishing game in there. They had a terrible game the second game, and they would be the first to admit that against that Fordham team you see right there. But then they bounced back at the end when they played Illinois State and really responded with one of their better team games with the ball movement, the hustle, the 50-50 balls, all those things that Dan Murley has really been preaching.
Speaking of the ball movement, I think we expected this, but we were waiting for how it was going to play out because we needed to see him step up, and that being labor. How do you see the rest of the season kind of playing out, if all goes well, with the ball going through him and him trying to keep out of foul trouble?
Yeah, well, that's one thing Dan Marley said. It's been on him. The ball's got to get to labor more often because when he's got it on the block, he draws double teams, and that opens up guys on the perimeter. When he's outside shooting, that means a big man's coming out to guard him, and then the middle's open more for other things to happen. So they're going to try to play through him more, and the great part for Alessandro is he's been more aggressive when he gets the ball, and he's not had the foul troubles that he had at the beginning of the season. He's played 35 or more minutes in the last 5 games.
And of course, we've talked about his new look, no more facial hair, and a little bit superstitious about that, but it's been helping the play, so he'll stay like that, even if it was Movember. But you also have your pulse on this team, and you've seen a couple different starting lineups now. Looking back at what you saw against Illinois State, what's going on tonight, what can we expect from the starting 5?
Yeah, well, J.J. Rhymes is going to get a start tonight after he started the last game in the Virgin Islands, and he made some key plays down the stretch. He got a huge offensive rebound, and he does a lot of those intangible things. He's a really good passer, especially from that high post. He can drop in the passes to Laver. So now you've got an interesting dynamic with the majority of the starting lineup played at Shadow Mountain High School.
I know, this is so exciting for the local
audience. 3/5 of the guy with him, Blackshear, and Carlos Johnson.
Yeah, that is awesome to see that they're all teaming up together. Obviously, they have established chemistry. And okay, you're off the hook. You talked basketball. I believe you. You worked when you were in St. Thomas. But I'm guessing there was some fun happening off the court as well in that tough assignment you had. Take me through what you guys were doing when the team wasn't playing.
That's a little catamaran trip. That's a lot of the team managers there, the student managers. Those guys work their butts off, and they deserve perks like this. Those guys are a really tight group that help out the players and the coaches a bunch, so they got to go out on the waters a little bit and do some snorkeling. Some of the other staffers, unfortunately, there was some back flopping instead of back flipping. That's Jordy Hackett, the director of sports medicine. I said, well, at least there's an athletic trainer on board. He said, I am the athletic trainer.
Yeah, how does he help himself, right? And then also, I just think that, yeah, you guys, they were playing basketball. You had to work, but the scenery was pretty great. When you're playing basketball, we got the shot you sent us, and it was just, it seemed like you guys, even at shoot-arounds, it was like a great setup you had.
Yeah, in the mornings, they went to a local high school, and it had these windows around it. It was really cool. In the mornings, the students were in session, so the kids that were in PE class were in their uniforms sitting in the stands watching the team work out. And our university photographer, David Kadlubowski, took that photo. That's Rafe Curtis and Lorenzo Jenkins at the shoot-around capturing a little Caribbean sunlight hitting the basketball court. You don't get that much inside the GCU basketball facility.
Yeah, and what an experience just for the team, for the staff, for the student staffers, for you guys, your wife, everyone, just to take this all in, because yeah, it is about the game and you got to go out there and be serious. But do you think that an experience like that, I know it was even tough travels, even though you're going to the U.S. Virgin Islands, it was a long day of travel. Do you think this can help the team in a way? Because we know Dan Marley wants to see consistency. How can this build towards that?
Well, there was definitely a lot of time around each other. It was a long trip there and back. They had 2 stops coming back. Javon Blackshear is an amazing sleeper, by the way. I don't think he was awake on the plane at all, no matter how many times we stopped. But yeah, I think that having to play through those rough moments, they were frustrated with the officiating the first night, the way they played, and then they kind of bonded that last game. But what Dan Marley wants to see is that carryover, that consistency from game to game. He's really liked the way they practiced the last 2 days. And Dan Marley doesn't say that a lot about practice because he's such a perfectionist, but he likes how they're buying into what the coaches are saying.
I was listening to what you were saying, but I got caught up on Javon was a good sleeper. I just traveled throughout the past week by car, 38 hours to California and back. 2 kids under 5, they did not sleep in the car. So that's impressive to me. But I know you weren't sleeping on the other GCU athletic programs going on. Just a couple thoughts from you as you watch the women's volleyball season come to an end, but a great climb they did, taking everyone by storm this year. And also, how's Nicole's pals team doing on the women's basketball side?
Yeah, Nicole's young team is progressing well early. They're, of course, trying to build toward conference because they have so many freshmen and sophomores around Deja Daniel, the all-WAC player. Volleyball, you got to give credit to Tim Nolan and his staff. One of the best turnarounds in the nation from one year over the other. And just a lot of great performances. Kyra Moss having an all-WAC season. I think 4 players got honored. A senior like Melody Orton, they reached the WAC tournament championship. They lost in 3 sets in Mexico State. It was a lot closer than it looked. They had a really tough call reversal in the second set that shifted momentum from a 20-23 game to a 24-22. But they ended up with one of the 20 highest winning totals in the nation, and that's just showing tremendous progress for what Tim Nolan's doing there.
Yeah, and it was fun too talking with Tim Nolan as that season was going on, because we know the Lopes athletic squads, they're rooting for each other, but they also have some friendly bragging rights, and to watch them go out there and set the record for how many wins the Lopes team has gotten in regular season here, I think it's just exciting. It shows the growth we're seeing as these teams have made that transition.
Yeah, and then now there's some other sports about this. Swimming is kind of kicking into gear right now. They went to a big meet at Purdue. Men's volleyball will be the next sport to start, and they're coming off a season where they were in the top 15 the last couple of years. So a lot of good things. Softball just announced a schedule that has 10 NCAA tournament teams in it. So lots of good stuff is coming.
That is true. And speaking of what's still on tap tonight, well, we have some Havocs in the house, which is very impressive. They got their turkey at home, did the laundry, and they're back. And we, of course, have Lopes basketball coming your way, which means we need to check in with Dan Marley, and that's coming up next on the Lopes pregame show as we count you down to tip-off.
For yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime for yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime, giving kids a look into the technological advances that pushed you forward. Being strong and compassionate makes you a role model through this formative period in their lives. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders and innovators to reach for their dreams. You're giving them the tools they need to achieve them.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online. Your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
We welcome you back here on the Lopes Pregame Show, coming at you on Fox 10 Extra. We'll also be with you on Tuesday as the Lopes take on Mount St. Mary's. Then on December 8th, it's a little bit of a field trip over to Talking Stick Arena for the Colangelo Classic. The Lopes will go head-to-head with Liberty. And then back here at home on the 12th against Northern Iowa. And then it's a big trip on the 17th as they head to New Mexico. And then back here for Eastern Illinois to wrap up play at home on December 21st. You can catch all the home action here on Fox 10 Extra, but we want to remind you it's also a great time to bring out the family and the community here. Why? Well, because it's great basketball, and you'll always hear and see from this guy, Dan Marley, who checks in with our Mary Patel right about now.
Thanks, Kate. Alongside Dan Marley, coming back home after a trip to the Virgin Islands. Your overall thoughts about the trip to the Paradise Jam?
Good and bad.
Yeah.
A little disappointed. I thought the Valparaiso game that we played well enough to win. Turnovers and free throws really hurt us in that game. I was happy with our defense. We held them to a really good offensive team to under 40% shooting. Offensively, we were really good, minus the 18 turnovers. I thought if we took care of the basketball, we'd have won. And then they shot 26 free throws. We shot 6. They beat us at the line by 17 points. So the turnovers and the free throws really hurt us. And that got us a loss. So I was disappointed in the loss, but I thought we took a huge step forward in how we played. I thought we shared the ball. I thought defensively we were really good. And then the second game against Fordham, I thought we took a huge step back. Competed in the first half and just lost it in the second half again. Turnovers crept up and hurt us.
16.
Yeah, so we have to take care of that. And then the last game, Illinois State, really good program. Two teams that were hungry for a win there. Nobody wanted to leave the islands with 0-3. And we found a way to come out, did a great job in the first half of jumping on them early and found a way to win the game.
You had 10 turnovers in the opening half, but you limited to just 4 in the second half of that game. Turnovers are a big story here the last 3 games.
Yeah, it's disappointing. We want to have 10 or less turnovers every game, and we just have to do a better job of controlling the basketball. Live ball turnovers really hurt us. Some of those turnovers were offensive fouls. We're not playing off of 2 feet, charging people, things like that. So we have to do a better job of limiting the turnovers.
You were talked to Michael Potter about slowing down the pace a little bit in that third game. Was that a conscientious effort on your part?
No question.
Yep.
I thought about it long and hard, and we were just very ineffective in our transition game. We weren't very disciplined in where we were supposed to go. We were taking bad shots. And I also thought with our short bench, with us running that much, it really took a lot of wind off of us. Mm-hmm. So I just decided that I was going to start controlling the game, not let us run a lot of sets, try to go through Ali. I think Ali had 21 field goal attempts. We have to continue to do that, not only for him to score, but for the ball to go through him, and that way he can make shots for other guys. And I thought with that pace, we could really ramp up our defense a little bit more. I spend a lot of energy on defense, walk the ball up, and again, be very methodical in where we want to go with the basketball.
You also started Okpo and J.J. Rhymes. The decision behind that?
Just sending a message. I love Carlos and Lorenzo, but they didn't prepare to play in that game. Carlos and I had a little disagreement during the game, and he didn't handle it well. And then Lorenzo, just basically, to be honest with everybody, didn't read a scouting report before the game. So I just sent a message that that's not how we're going to play. You got to invest in it. Both guys took it extremely well. They learned from it. They bounced back. I thought Carlos had a really good game when he came in. Doobie's been great in practice since he's come back from the tournament, and he's learned a lot of lessons. And they figured it out that we plug in a freshman and JJ, and we got out to an 18, I think, to 7 lead with those guys in the game. So you got to play the right way. As I said, both those guys handled it really well, and we're going to move forward. Yeah,
JJ came in, had 10 points in the game, and the freshman, 8 rebounds for Okpo. That is a D1 mark for a freshman here at GCU.
Yeah, I told him he's got to be he can't worry about scoring. He still hasn't made a basket in his young career. He's made 2 free throws, but for him, it's just more about guarding anybody on the floor, being very active, flying around for rebounds, taking charges and things of those of that nature. And he did a great job, especially in the rebounding area. He was really concentrated. I thought he flew around defense, so I was very pleased with how Bryce played.
Talk a little bit about Isaiah Brown. He had the double-digit game here the last game with Alessandro Lever. It was way back to San Diego State where he hit double digits. It was nice to see him put those numbers up.
It was, and for Isaiah, he's a guy who really wants to score the basketball, but he's got to do a good job of shots like that, where we move the basketball, and then he can either attack the closeout or he can get shots off of movement. When he's going one-on-one with guys, he hasn't been very successful. So we have to move the basketball a lot and then just really attack the closeouts. And Isaiah can play. He's a really good scorer, but he's got to pick and choose the spots when he's going to take those shots.
When you talk about Carlos Johnson, he's putting the points on the scoreboard. The threes, though, I mean, is it about shot selection sometimes? I mean, when Scott talks during the game, he'd love to have him, do what he does and drive to the net.
Yeah, you got to be kind of careful with Carlos, because he's a guy that is so talented. He can really make tough shots. So, yeah, you want him to take good threes or good shots, but you also don't want to tell him, Carlos, that's a bad shot, because he's a guy who can really get it going. But he has to take it to the basket. He's really good at getting the free throw and posting up. Has to be a better decision maker when he goes in there. If he's covered, he can't charge guys. He's got to make the extra pass and things like that. But Carlos started slow last year too, especially with this three-point shot. He's a guy that's been in the gym working on his jump shot. So I got to be a little careful with Carlos, because he's a guy that can get it going.
Talking about threes, Purdue Fort Wayne comes in here, and they're one of the best in the nation at threes.
Yeah, they shoot a lot of threes. They make about 10 a game. So we're really going to have to cover the three-point line, do a good job on their pick-and-roll defense, be very cognizant of where we are. Can't be too far from our guys. Can't have long closeouts, because that's a team that when they get hot from three, they're hard to beat.
As we close out the segment, before we send it up to Kate, man, I thought the Lions were going to win it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Some guy from off the street, I guess he was plowing the street, Blau or what? Blau. I don't know what the guy's name was, but he threw 2 touchdown passes.
For 54 years, I've sat on a couch and had no expectations. The same was this year. I sat on a couch with my 3 dogs, had a beverage of my choice, and just waited to the final buzzer. And once again, there
was no buzz of excitement there early on?
Absolutely not. I know they're losing. There's no expectations. I'm just enjoying the game and just taking the pain.
That's head coach Dan Marley. We'll send it back up to you, Kate.
Gotta love Marley and his love for the Lions, and gotta love the student section and their love for Lopes basketball. When we come back, we're going to talk about saving for college. Yes, it starts when your child is in diapers. We'll explain when the Lopes pregame show continues right after this.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home, Canyon State Credit Union can provide information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Family College program, Dina Lager, thank you so much for being out here. And I think it's so important for people as they're watching this college action, probably at home enjoying it, but also wondering how they can help their kids be a part of it. And you're here to tell us all about that. How young do you start saving for your kids to go to college?
We encourage you to start saving as early as possible. So I have a friend, she actually opened up an account for her baby before he was born. She just opened it in her name, and as soon as she had his name and social security number, she transferred the account over to his name.
And for decades, you've been helping families in Arizona save. How do you guys go about doing that? What's the incentives with your program?
So in the state of Arizona, the state wants to reward families for saving. So every year that you put money into the Arizona 529 account, the state will give you a state tax deduction, dollar for dollar, up to $4,000 if you're married and filing jointly, or $2,000 if you're an individual tax filer. And that state tax deduction is for any Arizona resident. So if you have friends, family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, anybody who wants to put money in for birthdays or holidays or just because, they get that same state tax deduction for any money they put in the account, whether it's $5, $25, or $250.
And then you can revisit that money when your child's ready to go to school.
Exactly. You can use it for K through 12 tuition expenses. You can use it for post-secondary education expenses at any type of institution, like a private school here at GCU, or a vocational school, or a trade school, or any school in-state or out-of-state in Arizona or abroad.
And what's so great is Arizona 529 tonight is going to award a young college goer or school goer. Today there is a diaper derby at halftime. We'll have all the details coming up, but what does the winner of the diaper derby get?
So the winner will get $529 towards an Arizona 529 account. So we're really excited to see our 6 participants race across the court.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dina, for joining us. Such a wonderful cause. And if I didn't have you at diaper derby, well, hopefully I have you at men's college basketball. That is coming your way. We will continue to wrap things up here on the Lopes pregame show. And when we come back, we'll set the table because it's time to feast on some Lopes basketball. Counting you down to tip-off. We'll be right back.
I'm Courtney, and I'm earning a master's online at GCU in Christian ministry. My husband is in the military, so we move a lot. I really wanted a school that would support me no matter where I lived, and GCU was a great fit for that because although it's a rigorous program, I really enjoy that I get to do it on my time. Sometimes that's at a coffee shop, sometimes it's in my office. Faith is a big part of my life. I play violin in my church, and I get to express my gifts and worship God. I pray continually, and I just really try to seek God. I really wanted to go to a school that could highlight that and worship God freely, and GCU definitely gave me the platform to do that. Being an online learner at GCU, I've really made a personal investment in my own life that has given me such confidence to go into my field, not only to become an expert, but be a change agent for the world.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Turkey, your day is done. It's all about Mastodons and Lopes tonight here on Fox 10 Extra. We're counting you down to tip-off of here on the Lopes pregame show. We got GCU basketball coming your way right now. A live look as the team is prepping for tonight's game, just returning from the Paradise Jam in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Well, my gift to you, if you didn't make it out on Black Friday, is you can just sit on your couch right now as I take you around the WAC. Well, tonight continues the Summit League WAC Challenge. Right now, the WAC has a 1-2 record. Utah Valley defeated North Dakota State. I apologize to my better half because he is a Bison. Meanwhile, Terrell Brown from Seattle leads the WAC in scoring. He's averaging 22 points per game. And it is a tight race in the WAC right now, although teams really working out the kinks. All teams have at least 4 or 5 losses. New Mexico State, UMKC, they have 4 wins. But how many wins will the Lopes have? Well, we'll find out tonight as this one plays out. When we come back, Scott and Barry have the call on the other side. We'll be right back on Fox 10 Extra with college basketball.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Live from the heart and soul of Phoenix, welcome to the campus of Grand Canyon University and inside GCU Arena, where tonight the Lopes play host to the Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne. Good evening and welcome to GCU basketball alongside 3-time NBA champion Scott Williams. I'm Barry Butel. Kate Longworth will be along in just a moment. Well, the Lopes coming back for the 3-game trip to the Virgin Islands. First 2 games, Scott, didn't go their way, but a big 68-63 win against Illinois State to close it out.
Yeah, it's nice that they didn't hang their head and they bounced back. They got a good win. They got some good contributions from a lot of different guys. It was good to see.
And 2 guys that led the way in that final game were Alessandro Laver and also Isaiah Brown.
Yeah, Laver was fantastic. I really liked the way he approached this basketball game, knowing that he had to do a little bit more to get his team the victory. Not afraid to step behind the arc, as we know, but his power around the basket. 17 points, 7 rebounds, did the job. And Isaiah Brown, what can Brown do for you? Well, he can step back and knock down the 3, but he's also got the strength, power, and concentration to be able to drive the ball hard to the basket, too, and finish inside with contact.
Career high 5 3-pointers, career high 21 points for Isaiah Brown, and all things that are good will run through Alessandro Laver as far as the Lopes are concerned. A big night for him as well. Now the Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne come in a record of 4-5 overall, and they are led by their sophomore guard, Jared Godfrey.
Yeah, Godfrey can play. And this guy's just 36% from behind the arc, averages nearly 15 points and almost 5 boards a basketball game. He's 4th in the nation in minutes, so he stays on the floor because the coach needs him out there as an extension of the coaching staff.
At 17 points in the win against Niagara as the Mastodons come in to take on the Lopes. Let's get it started. We'll send it down to the PA announcer, Paul Denuser, with our prayer and our national anthem.
For tonight's men's basketball matchup between the Mastodons of Purdue Fort Wayne and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Tonight's game is sponsored by AZ 529, helping Arizona save for college for the last 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Tonight's prayer is led by Chalisa Q, a senior majoring in worship arts.
Everyone bow your heads. Abba, we thank you for tonight, God. We thank you for this opportunity of fellowship, God, that without you, we would not be here tonight, God. And I just want to pray, God, for everybody in their respectable places, God, both teams, the coaches, God, the officials, God, the dancers, the cheerleaders, just everybody here, God. And as everybody give their all tonight, God, that we all remember that it's all for your glory, God. We give you the glory and we give you the honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chalisa. Fans, please remain standing as we now honor America with a presentation of the national anthem. Tonight, the Star-Spangled Banner will be performed by the Phoenix Boys Choir under the direction of Topher Keene.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting
Thank you, Phoenix Boys Choir.
Nice job by the Phoenix Boys Choir tonight. Chalisa with our prayer. The Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons coming in a record of 4-5, coming off a 77-54 win over Niagara on Wednesday. Their head coach is John Kaufman in his 6th season. That win over Niagara was his 100th at the university. Here is Coach Kaufman's starting 5. Brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. Jared Godfrey, Brian Patrick, Marcus DeBerry, Matt Holbach, and Dylan Carl.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Brian Patrick tonight. He's leading his team in scoring at 15 points per game. Gets on the glass at a clip of 4 a night.
In the Summit League, this is the Summit WAC Challenge. Time now to introduce you to GCU. Head coach Dan Marley in his 7th season, a record of 126 and 77. Here are Coach Marley's starting 5, brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Javon Blackshear Jr., Isaiah Brown, J.J. Rhymes, Carlos Johnson, and Alessandro Labor.
Yeah, Carlos Johnson, we're going to keep an eye on him. Will he be in 3-point mode tonight, or will he be in attack mode tonight where he's taking everything to the basket?
Lopes 3 and 5, coming off that 5-point victory over Illinois State to close out the Paradise Jam. The associate head coach is Marvin Menzies. The assistant coaches Chris Cremelone and Isaac Chu. Director of basketball operations Dylan Hidalgo. Special assistant to the head coach is Johnny Hill. Video coordinator Matt Lopez. Director of sports medicine Jordy Hackett. And the director of sports performance is Gabe Borland. So J.J. Rhymes gets the start. His 2nd straight. Time now for the Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game. The best play at a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford.
Well, Barry, I know you probably went for 3 plates on Thanksgiving like I did. So we got a Thanksgiving theme tonight. It's a turkey trot. I think the Lopes need to push the tempo. The Dons have held their last 2 opponents to under 40% shooting when they have a chance to set their defense. And don't spill the gravy. Limit the turnovers. They had way too many turnovers on that trip out there to Virgin Islands. I'm not going to put a number on it. Just let's hope that they don't have any tonight. And then the last piece of pie. You know, you fight like mad on that glass as if it's the last piece of pie, pumpkin pie. Good things will happen for you. Remember you have to elbow your siblings out of the way to try to get to that 10 before they got that last piece. Yeah, that's how the Lopes got to go to the glass tonight.
Like it. They get into a whole pie debate here.
What's your favorite pie?
I don't know, apple pie, you know, my grandmother made an awesome apple pie.
Apple pie.
Pumpkin pie is good.
Yeah, I like sweet potato pie. That's always been a good one. I'm a fan of the pumpkin, but sweet potato is probably my go-to. I found myself a little bakery here that makes a bomb sweet potato pie. I won't mention the name on here. You guys know who you are, though.
There's a look at the officials, Bob Staff and Kevin Brill and Kirby Sitton. Last season in the Summit League for Purdue Fort Wayne. Next year they're in the Horizon League. The travel is going to be greatly improved. Their longest trip next year will be 6 hours. That's their shortest trip currently in the Summit League. Both fans remain on their feet. Good crowd here. Students out on break. Most of them.
I think a lot of them came back for the game.
I think a lot of them. Yeah, they stopped by saying hello. A lot of them. And the Mastodons bring it up the court.
That traditional man-to-man defense to start the game. They probably will play some zone at times tonight. Coach Marley's been adding that to the defensive playbook.
Holbach. Patrick. Leaves it there for Carl. Carl looked inside, now dishes back out to Patrick. Drives baseline, moves inside, left hand, travel.
That big Euro step, but referees weren't buying what he was selling. Whistled him for the turnover early. Good defense by the Lopes, chasing everybody off that three-point line and not giving up anything inside.
Blackshear. Started right, comes left. Far side, finds Carlos Johnson in the corner. Bounce pass into Labor. Labor back outside. Blackshear moves right. Brown. 10 on the shot clock. Oh, sweet pass. Labor, good! Hope fans can take a seat.
Wow, that was good execution of the offense. They didn't get the initial post up because Labor got double, but he swung the basketball out, was patient, and it found him again off that right side.
Near side to Godfrey. Moves, finds an opening, kick out, DeBerry. Short of the mark. Rebound, pulled down by Rhymes, leads to Blackshear.
That's where Rhymes can do some damage on the glass. One and done for the Dons all night long.
Brown bends pass into Labor. Labor. Carlos Johnson got a fingertip on it. Drives, baseline, kicks back out. Quickly, Blackshear looked away for a split second. Lost it. Regains it. 6 on the shot clock. Got to come up with something. Brown, open look. Oh, stopped there by the Mastodons. Holba up top, and Holba puts it in.
Wow, I'll tell you what, that was an impressive defensive possession by the Mastodons there. Smothered chicken on Brown's shot, and they were off to the races. High handoff at the hoop, united at 2.
Holba, their leader in blocks and steals. Showed a little of that right there. Tied it 2 early. Brown. Kicked out, Labor. Johnson. Beyond the arc. Finds a seam. Doesn't go. Rebound, Carlos. Off the glass and in.
Oh, I like that. Carlos Johnson just using some power. Taking that ball to the basket. Follows up his own miss.
Godfrey lost it.
I think Blackshear got a hand on that one. Barry swatted out of bounds. Those little deflections are so good at being able to reset your defense. But look at Johnson one more time here. Takes on 2 defenders and then goes up and gets his ball. Someone got their hands on that. He just showed some strength and muscled it in the basket. Holba.
Off the mark. 0 for 2 from the arc are the Mastodons. They're the best, one of the best in the nation. Inside the Labor. Double teamed all the way over to Johnson. He's going to throw up a 3. Ooh, not there. Rebound is kicked out.
Nice job that time by Labor. They're going to double team Labor on the post. That's obvious now. Every time he gets the ball, they're going to bring another defender down there, trap him, see if they can't force an errant pass out of that double team, trying to get some steals to get some breakaway fast break points.
Rhymes going to bring it in. Right in front of Coach Marley. Just underway here in Phoenix. Rhymes. Blackshear. He looks for 3. Good!
Oh, I like that play right there. Just a little screen action. Blackshear sets a back pick. His man's got a hedge just for a moment to help out his teammate, and he pops out from behind the arc.
Blackshear now 7 of 29 from the arc.
Let's go this one more time. Blackshear sets this little back pick, and after his man dives down to that low block area there to goes with a cutting Labor, he's wide open to size up that 3-point shot.
Three of 6 from the field for the Lopes. 1 of 3 for Purdue Fort Wayne. Godfrey. Good.
Godfrey kept his dribble alive off that side, pick and roll action, and able to elevate over the smaller Blackshear.
Blackshear moves left.
Illegal screen that time up top by Rhymes.
Go Rhymes.
And Rhymes is still kind of moving there, throws that shoulder down low into the defender. And it's kind of a red light on your body when you're moving like that.
Godfrey. Holba quickly. Ball movement. Finds Patrick. DeBerry. Holba puts it down on the floor. Loses the handle. Off the Lopes. 8 on the shot clock. 15:48 to go. Lopes up by 3 early on here in Phoenix.
Part of my motivation of becoming a doctoral learner was so I could immediately start using the information that I was learning in the courses as a tennis coach here for my student athletes. I think that it set a good example for those around me to know that things can be accomplished. My name is Greg Prudhomme, and I just defended my dissertation to earn a degree in performance psychology.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Men's basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. And by SRP, delivering water and power. Hope everyone had a tremendous Thanksgiving. Folks traveled down to St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. Grueling trip, no doubt. Well, they came up a little short in those first two games, but they walked away from the Virgin Islands with a 5-point win over Illinois State.
I mean, Johnson, Laver, Brown, all really did a nice job getting in that scoring on that trip, and that's kind of what you need. You got to find out your rhythm. You're going to have to get these guys playing good all of the same games as well, but playing together is going to be a must for this GCU Lopes team the remainder of the season. They're just not talented enough and deep enough to be able to rely on one-on-one basketball.
In the corner, Godfrey, pulled down by Carl. Off the glass and in.
Oh, he just got Brown and Johnson in a bad way on that weak side glass. He used his length extremely well around the hoop.
In the corner for Brown. Looked inside. Laver covered. Johnson near side. Laver looks left. Leaves it there for Brown. Brown top of the key. Back out to Blackshear. Bounce pass. Laver turns to the bucket. 6 on the shot clock. Floated. Not going to happen. Pulled down by Holba. Godfrey in the corner. Holba puts it down. Loses it. Laver ends up with it. Good work by J.J. Rhymes.
There really was. I mean, he had an easy dunk at the basket, and Rhymes was able to get a piece of that ball and poke it away.
Ooh, careful. Got it to Laver. Oh, it doesn't go. Laver can't pull it down.
Yeah, Laver can't believe he missed that one. It was a little bit of a scrum for the ball, but once he had it, it seemed like he just rushed that little lefty shot off the glass.
Long distance for DeBerry.
Lead change. Tell you what, Mastodons have come to play tonight.
13 of 31 from the arc, a 7-0 run for Purdue Fort Wayne. Last minute 54 and counting. Ooh, lots of traffic in there, foul call.
Call on the Mastodons number 2, Brian Patrick. First personal, first team foul.
Just one more time. This is
in the ball game for the Mastodons.
That 3-point shot from that wing, but couldn't quite tell if a toe was on the line during that shot. Might be changed to a 2 later on.
Quick shot, Brown. Good, yeah, rattled around there.
Yeah, okay, Brown comes right back, and he gets one from the outside. This is going to be a game where we're going to be seeing a lot of ties and lead changes here, the way these guys are competing.
Demir Black in the game. Long 3 by Holba. Oh, look out. You don't want to get Matt Holba hot among the active players in NCAA D1 career. 42% from the arc.
You mentioned how well they shoot it from behind the arc. 4th in the nation. Field goals made from the 3-point line, and that's just what the Lopes have done traditionally really well. Those baseline out-of-bounds plays where they get their first option. You know, Purdue Fort Wayne, they started 0 for 3 from threes, and they've hit their last 2.
Blackshear looks for three. Short. Rebound kicked out to Johnson. Back out. Lorenzo Jenkins in the game. Blackshear.
Had Labor open for a minute down there on that baseline, but they couldn't find him with the ball.
Brown. Back out. Jenkins wants three. Too heavy. Big rebound. Johnson pulls it down.
Wow, 2 offensive rebounds for CJ on this trip down the floor. Smashing him on the glass.
9 on the shot clock. Stop. Just beyond the key. In and out. For Brown.
Unfortunate. Generally, you give a team 3 opportunities to score, they're going to come away with a field goal.
Cameron Benford. Godfrey drives off the glass.
Gotta stay between your man and the basket. At that time, Godfrey's able to lose his man out there on the perimeter, and this one makes a nice back cut to the basket. Caps a 12-2 run.
5-point Mastodons lead. Near side, Brown. Back to Labor. Labor puts it on the floor. Back over to Brown. Brown from the corner. Not going to happen. Chilly here in Phoenix. Godfrey off the window and in.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, if every team needed a timeout, it's right now. 14-2 and counting. And the Mastodons are making it look real easy on the offensive end. And Lopes are not getting the shots that they would want. They want to get something going to the basket.
Blackshear. Labor comes out, puts up a three. Good! Big bucket there for Alessandro Labor.
You look bad there, Labor. They need to get something going to the basket. He pops out from behind the arc and knocks one down, but Lopes needed that. Ends a 14-2 run.
Floater by Godfrey, not there. Labor put it down on the floor and went out on the Mastodons. 11:37 to go, opening half. 4-point Mastodons lead.
This is Godfrey just doing what he does, mixing up the long shot in the mid-range shot, and then Labor comes back and he takes the top off the defense with a three.
44 Rangers now in the stalls, starting at 28.9. Harrison Ford, 44 Rangers now in the stalls, starting at 28.9. Head on in to Arizona's largest Ford dealership and head out in a new Ford. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
About time you washed it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. I mean, we want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin', ice. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin'.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
By 4 points with under 12 to go. The team, of course, just returning off a play at the Paradise Jam in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And although they came back with just a 1-2 record, they did manage to have some fun off the court. Right now, you're taking a look at the student managers and trainers. They put in a lot of hard work throughout the year to help this team perform strong on the court. They got to have a little fun. And then check out this amazing back foot. Something went wrong there. That was, of course, the team's trainer, no other than himself, Jordy. His back leg turning into more of a belly flop. But guys, it's a good thing that Jordy Hatchett is the athletic trainer, right? Or is it a good thing? Because I don't know if he could help himself on that one. But Jordy, of course, does so much for this team to keep him healthy and on the court. And as does Dan Marley. I'm not sure if he was doing any backflips. I think he's too much focused on the game. Pretty intense guy, right?
No doubt. I'm glad he loves having that play.
Jordy needs a 2-0 for it. That was terrible. My neck in my back there just watching that.
Okpo in the game. Back to Blackshear.
Let's see what Okpo can do. Follow up. See if he can follow up another good game. Getting on that glass and playing solid defense.
Lorenzo Jenkins heavy on the three-point attempt. Big rebound. Kicked out. Deontay Billups. freshman from Moline, Illinois. Near side. Tion Rollins in the game, often making some substitutions. Back out to Billups. Jenkins stopped him there. He buried. He stopped. Inside, though. Some contact, but it goes in.
Yeah, you know, Jenkins is out there denying the pass, not wanting to get swung back to the middle, but you can't give up the back cut right down the center of the lane.
Blackshear almost went inside. Pulled it back. Three-point attempt. Short.
We talk about Johnson's threes. He's best when he's a catch-and-shoot guy. Trying to shoot the three off the dribble, definitely not his strength.
Demir Black in the game for the Mastodons. Carl, near side. Looking drive, goes right hand. Gets some help off the glass.
20 points here in the first 10 minutes. Just not very good defense out of this Lopes team here.
Demir Black puts it in. Under 10 to go. 8-point Mastodons lead. Blackshear quickly. Johnson drives baseline. Wow.
Nice strong move by Johnson to the basket along that baseline. Results in a foul. Just the second team foul for the Dons. But that's where you got to be aggressive.
Well, for every three-point shot that GCU makes, Canyon State Credit Union will be making a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, go to giving.gcu.edu. Lopes just 2 for their last 10. Wow. Purdue Fort Wayne 7 for their last 8. Way off the mark for Blackshear. Holtbaugh. Back out. Patrick drives baseline. Lost it temporarily. Kick back out to Holtbaugh. Rollins. Good.
They're putting on a clinic on ball movement, player spacing, having their way up at the basket, driving guys. They're out of position. The others, after having a 14-2 run snap, now they're on a 7-0 run.
Laver leaves for Brown. Inside Laver, left hand. Ooh, almost got the hoop in the arm there, didn't drop.
Yeah, Lopes needed a bucket out of the big fella. He went inside there and posted real strong at that basket. We'll have to go to the line and earn him.
Just under 9 to go, opening half. Very pretty. Now 17 to 24 rather. Is Alessandro Laver at the line. Fortuitous bounce for the Lopes after a couple of not very attractive free throws by Laver.
Yeah, I think the shot clock operator after the missed free throw put 30 seconds on the shot clock, and officials are saying we want to reset that shot clock to 14 because only 20 seconds is supposed to go back on the shot clock on an offensive rebound.
Poke quickly. Rimes into the paint. Well, Mastodon's picking up some fouls here.
Yeah, fouls are good right now because the Lopes are going to have to start getting to that charity stripes. I know Laver just went 0 for 2, but the more opportunities they get to that free throw line, it's really going to help them scoring because the shots from the outside are not falling here in this first half.
Blackshear and Okpo take a seat.
There's a good look. Oh, he didn't take it.
Brown. Oh, picked off.
He got a nice screen out of that corner to get to that elbow where I thought Brown likes to shoot the ball, but a little too unselfish in the turnover, and then right back into the center of defense is Godfrey, and he knocks one down.
But Godfrey uncontested. Threads the needle to Labor.
I like that. Yeah, a little screen and roll action. Normally Labor will do a screen and pop, but he realizes he's got to go inside for buckets. He rolls hard to the rim, and Brown finds him with a great pass through traffic.
25-14, the Mastodons on top of the Lopes.
Here it is again, just that hard pick and then hard roll to the basket gets Labor an easy two.
Well, they're hitting some threes here. They've definitely had some runs, have the Mastodons. You got to be careful. You got to play that tight. And then the Lopes coming back, and they look pretty sharp early on, but they've gone a little bit cold here.
Both from the outside.
Yeah.
You mentioned that 2 for 10, and that's not going to get it done. But it's the defensive effort that's really lacking out there. They've 8 for their last 9 field goal attempts, getting anything they want inside, and getting some open looks from the perimeter as well.
Not too many guys standing out for the Lopes here early on as they try to regroup coming back from that Virgin Islands trip to put back-to-back victories together.
Yeah, that's Brown there. He had that little pick and pop that time, and then Carlos Johnson, he just was a little too strong underneath for the Mastodons. And that was going good early. Brown with that three-point bomb to go there, and Labor, when I said they needed to go inside for a bucket, he popped back to the outside. Labor 3 for 5 here in this first half with 7 points, but they got to pick it up defensively. 25 points. It's that 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes for the Mastodons. I know this is a high-scoring team when they get it clicking from the outside, but the effort's just not there in this first half. Coach Marley will not be happy with this defensive effort unless they can turn things around here in this final nearly 8 minutes.
Eleven of 15 from the field of the Mastodons. 6 of 18 are the Lopes. There's a look at the last game. They need both of these guys to definitely step up. Definitely Labor, how the team goes, really has been the story of Labor does well, the Lopes do well.
Yeah, and Carlos Johnson, he had 27 points against a very good Valpo team. And, he might have just been out of gas because he had 4 points in their final game on that road trip, and seems to be struggling here tonight.
DeBerry, Holba in the corner.
Lopes came back out in a zone defense here, trying to really extend that pressure out that three-point line, but can't let that ball get in there, that painted area. That's where it does damage.
Godfrey, in and out.
You get that ball, get that low, those guys on that perimeter have to suck back to the level of the basketball, and then that leaves the shooters open. Lopes dodged the bullet.
J.J. Ryan, bounce pass, Labor. Nice move by Alessandro Labor, nice patience.
Yeah, that was exactly the word I was going to use. You stole it right off the tip of my tongue because he had the patience to let the defense show him what they were going to do, and then he reacted nicely to him. He's got 9 points.
Black's 3, in and out. Let's try to get back into this game.
Yeah, I said they needed to run and try to score before this Mastodons defense could get set, but they're turning the basketball over. Coach Marley's trying to preach some patience, and then you know it, Labor turns it over on that trip down the floor. Go back to this one more time here. Labor, as he's matured from his freshman year now into his junior year, is really showing a lot of patience when he catches that ball down low. In his freshman year, he used to grab that thing and try to get rid of it or shoot it as quickly as he could because it was like a live grenade. And now he realizes, I got the strength, the quickness, the footwork, and the skill. If I have one player and I have a chance to size him up and figure out if he's on my left, my right, or right behind me, now I can know what move I want to do. I got my primary move, and if he takes that away, I go to my counter.
Oh, nice feed from DeBerry into Godfrey. Blackshear back in, Brown takes a seat. 3 turnovers for the Lopes. Got 18 in that opener against Valpo, 16 against Fordham, and 14 in their win against Illinois State. Near side. Check that, Brown on the court. Inside, Laver again with a nice move.
And a really nice pass. Was that Jenkins out there on that perimeter? Threw the ball up high where his big fella can get it.
Short rebound, trying to come up with it. Ball's on the floor. Brown leaves for Jenkins. Good hustle.
Yeah, it was hustle. Going down there, taking a shot to the head, giving up your body for your teammates. Realize you got to scrap for every possession.
Johnson inside, Laver. Twisting, turning, not going to happen. Quickly, the Mastodons moving the ball around. Black looking to move on Brown, goes left hand off the glass.
Brown did a very nice job initially, but just the patience on the offense. He kept probing and probing. Nobody came over after the third dribble. Easy to turn the corner and get to the basket.
Laver with 11 points, 5 of 8 from the field. The rest of the team 7 points, 3 of 13. Laver's all alone at the party. Oh, another turnover. Blind pass. Godfrey off the window. Timeout, Coach Marley.
Yeah, he wants to talk to his team and settle them down here. You have 4 minutes and 42 seconds to try to get a little bit more momentum back in this game. You're not going to get the lead, but you got to get a little momentum to how you're playing offensively, and especially on the defensive end. Figure out what is going on. It's not all transition baskets, but a lot of guys are getting inside that painted area. Here it is one more time. Just a lazy hooking kind of a pass leads to an easy run out.
Got to learn some lessons.
If I was going to tell you, one team's got 22 points in the paint, one team's got 8 points in the paint, Barry, which team would you think would have the 22 points in the paint?
I would say the Mastodon.
Yeah, well, if you're watching the game, and pre-game, you would have probably said it would have been the GCU Lopes fighting inside, but it's been the Mastodons taking the fight right to the Lopes inside. You know, without Alexander Laver's points in the paint, Carlos Johnson got 2 early in this game. You know, Lopes would really be in a bind here. I mean, it's 13-point deficit, which is, they can go on a little, 10-2 run here or 12-4 run. It makes a big difference how you're going into that locker room. But if this beating continues, you might see some quit in this Lopes team.
Johnson, Blackshear, drives, stops, little floater. Cuts inside, Demir Black. Blackshear got a hand on that. Nice defense by the freshman. Foul.
Nice job of the Lopes using their defense to create a run out and some opportunity for their offense. Blackshear did a really good job getting that deflection, and I'm not sure who snatched it and got it right back to him, but he was off to the races. See, he gets a little deflection right there. Oh, it was a Laver. Laver comes up with it. He's alertly, he picks it up out of the air. D-back getting an interception, and then they were off and running.
Black, second personal foul. Take a seat.
Not doing themselves any favors here, trying to cut into that deficit. Laver's missed a couple, and Blackshear misses that front end of that one.
1 of 4 now from the charity stripe.
Full court pressure for the Lopes here.
Oakville. Bringing it up.
They fall back into their man-to-man defense.
Phillips. Godfrey. Baseline. Way out. 3 off the mark. Laver there.
Good defensive stop.
Brown. Steps back. Quickly, Laver turns to the bucket. 2 Mastodons on him. Blackshear open for 3. Good!
Oh, they needed that one. Blackshear got himself to the free throw line. Got to visualize that shot going in, get to all those checkpoints in his shooting stroke. Then he comes back and knocks down the long 3.
7 points for Blackshear, 2 of 3 from the arc. freshman looking sharp from the arc.
Yeah, I love that one right there. Knocks down the long three. It's so good. Let's take a look at it twice. Blackshear does a good job with that ball fake. Give himself some space and knocks down the three.
Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
A look at the BSN athletic calendar as the men's basketball team back here on Tuesday night, taking on the Mountaineers from Mount St. Mary's as they travel from the East Coast. Men's and women's swimming at the U.S. Open in Atlanta, Wednesday through Saturday. Women's basketball up in Portland, taking on Portland State. They'll follow up with a game against Portland on Sunday. Then Liberty in town at the Colangelo Classic down at Talking Stick Resort Arena on Sunday afternoon to take on the Lopes, December 8th. So look at your BSN calendar. Some of the students.
You going to that game over there at Talking Stick?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to go check them out.
Liberty attorney team.
Also, we saw Nevada. Did you see the Gonzaga and Nevada within that last year? Had a great battle.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. What's that guy got on his arms? He's been doing that cupping?
I saw that on somebody the last game too. Or I think it was a TV game. Yep, he's doing it. Saw that as I was watching their Niagara game.
That helps with
Michael Phelps.
for recovery? Is that
blood flow, I guess?
Okay. I don't know if I would do that. I'm going to be a little too old school for that.
Yeah. Great basketball games. A lot of teams traveling all around. Looks for it. Virgin Islands, you got the Maui. Michigan's looking sharp.
Yeah, they took down my Tar Heels. Smashed it.
Knocked Gonzaga out.
Yeah, they're a good team. I don't know how they were unranked.
I know,
Somebody didn't do their job. They should be in the top 10 easily, if not the top 5.
Oh, almost picked off again. Johnson, 8 on the shot clock. Drives, kicked out, no look. Blackshear from the corner, yes!
Oh, thank goodness. I had to just take the top off my Pepto-Bismol bottle over here. These guys are getting me so nervous, but Blackshear knocks down a nice long shot from the right wing. I think I'll hold up off the Pepto for a minute.
2-pointer for Blackshear. Godfrey.
Nice.
Picked off.
Is that Blackshear again getting that deflection?
Johnson drives, baseline, off the, oh, it doesn't go. Pulled down by the Mastodons. And you get that close, you just want to say, do it with authority. Put it home. All right. Isaiah Brown checked that. Up to Okpo, dropped it in, how about that?
He got his first bucket. Got a couple free throws, now he got his first field goal, running the floor well. Nice job by defense.
First D1 bucket for the freshman Bryce Okpo.
Just one more time here, Carlos Johnson just unselfishly fires a strike over to his buddy who knocks down the long ball, and then Brown gets that deflection. He's off and running. Look at Okpo, though, out in front of everybody. Good utilization of the bounce pass, hitting traffic. Okpo finishes off an 8-1 run for the Lopes.
Mastodons lead is 6.
I was trying for a little 14-4, 12-2 run here just to give the Lopes a little life going into that locker room, and sure enough, with a minute 54, they're delivering here. Can they finish off the half? Always been so good years past, taking that momentum to the locker room in their favor. Can the Lopes do it tonight against a pesky Mastodons team? I like the Mastodon. They got a really good-looking logo. Mammoths, Mastodons, baby. Those are my things. Jams.
Really? Who knew? Godfrey. DeBerry. Long distance. Okpo. Easy
This
rebound.
kid, nice Okpo. We got to come up with a nickname for him.
Oh, no.
Oh, no? Okpo?
I don't think that's not going to work.
It's a work in progress. You know, I didn't know we were going to see a whole lot of playing time out of this kid this year. I got to get back in there and start coming up with something for him. I don't like B.O. That doesn't sound right. That reminds me of my body. B.O. We come up with something good.
Pogo. Yeah. You could put it out there on Twitter, maybe. Take some suggestions. Kate has something.
Well, when he's on defense, it's a no-go with Okpo.
Oh, strong effort.
There you go. Nice Longworth.
And maybe it's a go when he's on offense.
I like it.
Come up here.
Showing off.
Yes, she
Longworth.
She is on her game. All those hours in the car. Those kids around California and Arizona.
38 hours or so? Sounds like a ton of fun.
God for the tablet.
Free throws coming around for the Lopes as well. 4-point Mastodons lead. Minute 12 and counting opening half. Godfrey looking to move on Brown. Back out. Carl. Pulba puts it on the floor. Way over to Godfrey. Godfrey turns, twists. Right hand foul. Okpo. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Carlos Johnson got stuck on that weak side with having the sole defender to take on two Mastodons, and he left the basketball to go with the better outside shooter, but unfortunately, that led Godfrey, one of their best guys off the dribble drive, to be able to take it to the hole.
Godfrey, an 81% free throw shooter coming in. Hits the front end. Jenkins in for Okpo. Points for Godfrey, 6 of 9 from the field.
He's having a heck of a night. He averages about 14 and a half. So for him to have 14 with still time left on the clock here in the first half, he's gone his way to a monster game. He's not going to slow down. You've got to be kidding me. He took his eye off of what he was doing, got a little lackadaisical, and just literally dribbled it off the side of his leg out of bounds. Good chance for the Lopes to play for a little 2-for-1. Now they got to try to get a stop and then see if they can get one on the other end.
Godfrey, back out. Oh, long time. Open look. Not there. With a rebound by Carl. Good work by Blackshear, but it'll be the Mastodons' ball. Fans don't agree with it.
Blackshear either stripped the basketball from a player or got a deflection, and it's turned into something good for the Lopes. He's doing his job on the defense.
Pulba. 12 on the shot clock. Godfrey.
It's only an 11-second difference, so if the Lopes can get a stop, they will have an opportunity to go to the other end for a shot.
DeBerry, 4-3. Got to put it up. Picked off. Somebody call it count. Blackshear. Oh, he wanted to take it all the way, but his pocket is picked. DeBerry kicked out. Godfrey not there, but the slam by Dylan Carl is a huge exclamation point at the buzzer.
What a difference of events there. You think when the Lopes are going down on the run for a sure two, it's the Mastodons that end the half at the basket.
Let's set it down courtside. Kate Longworth.
All right, thank you guys. Well, interesting final moments of that first half, but you guys did have a 10-1 run down the stretch. What are your overall thoughts on what you saw from the Lopes?
Just not playing defense. They're shooting a high percentage. We got to stop running. We can't convert on the fast break. We got to move the basketball. We're stagnant. Everybody's trying to look for their shot. It's the same things we do when we take a step forward, but it starts on the defensive end. Our intensity is not there, and we're not guarding.
So what's the message for the team to increase that intensity?
They got to play harder. They got to play hard. They're playing harder than us. They're moving the basketball. We're not doing anything right.
All right, thank you very much. Some strong words from Dan Marley as he goes in to have a word with his players. Right now, the score 36-28. GCU trails, and that comes right back after this with more halftime show right here on Fox 10 Extra.
With a herd of 44 Rangers now in the stalls, starting at 28.9. On into Arizona's largest Ford dealership and head out in a new Ford. This is Sanderson Ford Country. Ford Raptors, 35 now available. On into Arizona's largest Ford dealership and head out in a new Ford. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
I'm Courtney, and I'm earning a master's online at GCU in Christian ministry. My husband is in the military, so we move a lot. I really wanted a school that would support me no matter where I lived, and GCU was a great fit for that because although it's a rigorous program, I really enjoy that I get to do it on my time. Sometimes that's at a coffee shop, sometimes it's in my office. Faith is a big part of my life. I play violin in my church, and I get to express my gifts and worship God. I pray continually, and I just really try to seek God. I really wanted to go to a school that could highlight that and worship God freely, and GCU definitely gave me the platform to do that. Being an online learner at GCU, I've really made a personal investment in my own life that is giving me such confidence to go into my field, not only to become an expert, but be a change agent for the world.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at GCU Arena. Right now, GCU trailing Purdue Fort Wayne 36-28 the score. We have going on here at center court a little diaper derby. I know that's exciting. We're going to get to that. But first, Kate Longworth welcoming into our Lopes halftime show here on Fox 10 Extra. And I am with former Lopes star Matt Jackson joining us, not from the land down under. He's still here in the States. We'll talk about your career here, but first, what have you been up to since finishing your time here at GCU?
So I'm now a financial advisor over at RBC Wealth Management, and so I'm working with a guy over there, and it's been a good way to kind of stick within this community because we work with a lot of people from GCU, so I've been able to stick around and do that, which has been awesome.
And it's been pretty impressive because you had a prolific career here, but you also spent time in the classroom. You had your bachelor's in business management, and then you went on to get your MBA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a great time here. So.
And of course, you spent some great years here at GCU, going through the transition to D1 basketball.
Yep.
How do you sum up what your career means to you?
It was a roller coaster, to say the least. I was just so happy to be a part of a special program. Going through that period was just amazing, and the guys and the relationships I built here, just lifelong friends I built, and very fortunate to have been given that opportunity. So, it was a great 5 years. It's sad that it came to an end, but hey, we move on to bigger and better things. So,
growing up in Australia, what brought you here to GCU?
So some of the coaches actually recruited me out in Australia. So, somehow, some way they found me out there. They found me and Jared kind of the same time. And so, Jared came out, I think, a week before me and checked out the school and loved it and committed. I was out the week after with my family and same thing, just loved it. And, very, very happy that we picked GCU and picked Phoenix, Arizona. And, it's just been amazing.
We had a lot of fun following you and Jared Martin, and I know you guys had an Aussie following online with our broadcast, but are you two still keeping in touch?
Absolutely, yeah. As I said, he's actually coming out here in a couple of weeks, so, looking forward to catching up with him. And, his girlfriend's still out here actually, so that's the reason he's kind of come back out. But
And for you.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'd hope so. Yeah. So.
Well, I think we always had fun with you, and it fits in perfectly with today's game, is how you guys experienced your first American Thanksgiving during your time here.
Yep.
How was the last one? How did it compare?
It was great. We had plenty of food, plenty of drinks, and a bit of football. So, going to be my favorite American holiday. So, we love it.
And when you talk football on Thanksgiving, you got to talk Dan Marley, because we got to watch his Lions lose year after year.
Yep.
But just talking about Coach, what was it like to play under him, and what type of relationship did you have with him?
He's a tough guy to play for. I'm going to be honest, but if you play hard and do what he wants you to do, we know that he's always got our back, and he wants what's best for us. And I think our bond has gotten stronger as I've aged, and even after I've come out of the program. And so, I wish all the best for him. That a little rocky start to the season, but I wish him the best, and hopefully they can get a couple of these guys back and really make a run at it. So.
All right, well, here's hoping. Thanks so much, Matt Jackson, for joining us. You can see him at a lot of these games or visit him for financial tips. Meanwhile, one of these days, these babies will need tips, because one of them is going home with money. That's right, Arizona 529 giving the winner of the Diaper Derby $529 towards their education. Exciting stuff here on the Lopes Halftime Show. We'll be right back.
Evening student at our vibrant campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or find your purpose. Sign up to attend our info session on November 7th at 5:30 p.m. at gcu.edu/evening. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
36-28, the Mastodons lead the Lopes here at the half. Barry and Scott back with you here in Phoenix. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. As the Lopes, they have still a little bit of tryptophan or something.
Yeah.
A little sluggish there in that opening half, Scott.
Slow defensively, just not getting players cut off. 24-10, disadvantage points in the paint. 8-3, disadvantage fast break points. Allowing 57% shooting. You don't normally see a Lopes team give a 57% from the field to their opponents.
Let's look at our first half highlights, brought to you by SRP, delivering water and power.
I love this one here because that's just a little pick and pop, and then Johnson takes it hard to the rack there. Doesn't get it the first time, but a little stay-to-itiveness. He gets to go the second time down there, and then Blackshear there. That was a great one after screening. He popped out, got himself free. Another one, pick the big man, roll up to the top, and that's just the old-fashioned pick-and-roll basketball right there. But Laver was working hard on the inside. He had himself 11 points, like you said, on 5 of 8 shooting. They just got to do a better job on the defensive end. See if they can put a handle on Godfrey. He's running away with this thing, 14 points in the first half. But, Okoke and Blackshear doing a decent job defensively, getting some deflections. This one here's a great one by Brown, and that'll show the man getting his first bucket of his career.
Nice hook, Bo, as we look at our first half stats, brought to you by Commonwealth Insurance, the way insurance should be. You mentioned the field goal percentage. 3 of 12 from the arc, 3 of 10 for the Lopes. Rebounding margin, 15-14 margin for the Mastodons. But the big number there, points in the paint. And as Coach Marley said, you know, it's about playing harder, and they have to do that, no doubt. We'll be back with more of our halftime festivities. Kate will be rejoining you after we take this time out. Mastodons on top at the half.
Curiosity fuels you. It helps you understand the world around you. It's your guide through life. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Change is difficult, but Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. While businesses are being transformed by artificial intelligence and analytics, GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation and make sense of the world. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems and sharing your insights, you're helping to build a better tomorrow for you, your community, and your family. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome back. Right now, Mastodons feasting on the Lopes in this post-Thanksgiving game, 36-28 score. But after talking to Dan Marley, he has a message for his team, and so we'll see how they come out playing in the second half. Meanwhile, the first half leading scorers are brought to you by the Streets of New York Pizza. Godfrey is averaging just about 15 points per game for the Mastodons, so no surprise here, perhaps, that he is leading all scorers right now with 14 to his name. Meanwhile, the ball must go through Laver. That's what we've heard Dan Marley say tonight, doing that when they can. He has 11 points to his name, followed by Blackshear Jr. with 9 points. All right, who will be leading the scoring when it comes to the second half? Only time will tell, and you'll find out right here on Fox 10 Extra when we're back with Barry and Scott and more Lopes action coming your way right after this.
I'm Courtney, and I'm earning a master's online at GCU in Christian ministry. My husband is in the military, so we move a lot. I really wanted a school that would support me no matter where I lived, and GCU was a great fit for that because although it's a rigorous program, I really enjoy that I get to do it on my time. Sometimes that's at a coffee shop, sometimes it's in my office. Faith is a big part of my life. I play violin in my church, and I get to express my gifts and worship God. I pray continually, and I just really try to seek God. I really wanted to go to a school that could highlight that and worship God freely, and GCU definitely gave me the platform to do that. Being an online learner at GCU, I've really made a personal investment in my own life that is giving me such confidence to go into my field, not only to become an expert, but be a change agent for the world.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online. Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
8-point lead for the Mastodons over the Lopes here at the half. The Lopes trailed 31-18 at about 4:43 to go opening half. They finish on a 10-5 run to narrow the Mastodons lead. Alessandro Laver, 11 points in that opening half. In 18 minutes, they need to keep feeding Ollie.
Yeah, feed the big man. Let him work out. I tell you, I love those little pick and pop plays, and the pick and roll plays have been so effective for the Lopes. They're doing a nice job of finding him when they need to get a bucket. So if he keeps getting passes like that into the interior and wrecking things, Lopes will get themselves back in this basketball game back with the lead.
Lopes will be back here at GCU Arena on Tuesday evening. Taking on Mount St. Mary's. Then on Sunday afternoon, they're downtown, Talking Stick Resort Arena, part of the Colangelo Classic, taking on Liberty.
Liberty can play.
Yep.
They definitely bring their A game to Talking Stick Resort Arena for that one. I watched them a couple times. They get after it.
Mount St. Mary's comes here on Tuesday. They beat Utah Valley by 3 on Tuesday. Utah Valley gave a bit of a scare there. Who was it, Duke or Kentucky? I'm trying to remember.
They were at Kentucky, I believe. Pushed them for a while there, and then Kentucky got the better of them at the end. But I'll tell you what, I see Seattle play some good basketball this year. Teams that, even Chicago State, they played earlier today. They were right there for a little while before falling by about 10. But they're much improved this year. They got 3 wins on the season.
They were fouled on a nice pass by J.J. Rhymes.
Oh, you gotta like that because you recognize that you have one guy going real well in that first half. And you want to get him off to a fast start once again here in the second half. You go right inside to him. Big fellow left his free throw touch on the island someplace down on the beach.
Talking to himself.
Yeah, he's not happy when he misses free throws. I struggled at the free throw line in college. I don't think I ever shot 70% from the line, but Laver, he's got a nice stroke. He's upset. He gets upset when he misses from the free throw line.
Patrick, near side, Godfrey. Kick back out, Bolba. Quick ball movement by the Mastodon. Holding on to it, guarded heavily. Laver finds Godfrey, does DeBerry. Godfrey, high off the glass, pulled down by Brown.
Hello, Blackshear. He gives up pounds and he gives up inches, but he continues to fight and forces him into a tough shot, and then lets for his teammates to clean up the miss.
Rhymes pulled down that errant shot. Johnson, Laver, hands it off, Blackshear. Near side, high there by Godfrey. Driving was J.J. Rhymes, who's fouled.
How about that muscle by J.J. Rhymes? And he came off of a weak side, caught the ball right around the top of the key area where he had an open look, but he realizes that these shots have not been going here in this first half. The Lopes shooting just a tick over 40% in that first half. So he goes back inside where Laver just did some damage. And now he's got an opportunity to go to line. I like Rhymes.
Little help.
Bad as the Lopes played, if this one goes down, you find yourself in a 5-point basketball game, as ugly as this has been here for the Lopes. And just under a minute to go here, a minute off the clock, they come back out here with this 1-2-2 press.
Rhymes with 2 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Trying to get a hand on it.
Yeah, but that's a good foul. Yep. You can't give a guy a dunk at the basket after you've kind of gone in your little 3-quarter press, and then you come down here and you say, no, sir, you're going to have to go to the free throw line and earn it.
Brown's got 2. Rhymes has 2 personal fouls. Carl at the line. Off the mark.
Already paid. See, that foul already paid. That's I love a smart basketball player, senior basketball player. I always used to tell people, I led the league. In fact, I think I led the entire ACC for my career in personal fouls. But I had a number of fouls that I just realized I'm not in foul trouble. I can't afford to give up an easy 2 points to a guy that maybe got the better of me on an inside post move, I got to make him go to the line and earn it. And that's what Brown did, and they, as a result, only got 1 out of 2.
Blackshear pivots back out. Brown, Grimes, Johnson, Labor. Brown, 4 on the shot clock. Brown threads the needle. It goes in!
How a neat knife between 2 dudes. Squirt that up off the glass. Beautiful play by Brown. Nice job by the Lopes moving that ball.
There he leaves it there for Holba. Holba. Patrick, quick ball movement. Godfrey leaves it for DeBerry. Back to Godfrey. Godfrey looking to move on Blackshear. Uses the window.
Yeah, he's just realized that he's got a size advantage on Blackshear. I think at some point in time, they're going to have to start hedging a man to help him out because he's just too big and too strong for Blackshear when he's going through the basket.
Johnson back to Labor. Steps up, drives, moves off the glass and in. Alessandro Labor.
How about that footwork and head and shoulder pump fake with the basketball? I thought he was getting ready to fire a strike across the court.
Godfrey, not there. Blackshear picks it up. J.J. Rimes. Oh, he got hung up there.
Well, I hope he's okay. It looked like he stepped on someone's foot. And that knee kind of buckled. He wasn't able to get in the elevation. Made me wonder, but oh, I hate to tell you, he popped right up off that court.
Patrick.
Go back one more time here. Just a bounce pass over to the outside. See, Rimes just gets steps right on the defender there. And thank goodness neither player appears to be injured.
Brian Patrick was the player. Slid that foot for a while. Patrick's going to come out.
Patrick's our leading scorer. He only got a couple to go in that first half, but I'm not sure what the stoppage was here. There.
Chili at the line was J.J. Coming off of that collision. 6 of 12 from the free throw line. GCU. Godfrey looking to move on Blackshear. Kicks out. Black to Godfrey.
They made that look easy. He got himself out there to the wing. Had very little time to find that basket, but he was able to find the range.
Johnson leaves for Blackshear. Back to Johnson, near side. Bounce pass picked off.
Wolves haven't turned it over a whole lot today, but the ones they have had are glaring.
Runaway 3 wide open for takeoff for Godfrey.
Godfrey hits the outside shot, then comes off of a little post action at the high post, curls it right to the bucket, gets the lay-in.
Turn of events, the Mastodons up 44-35.
Andrea, and I'm earning my PhD online at GCU. Pursuing my PhD online at Grand Canyon University is a huge investment into my future. I'm also learning critical thinking and problem-solving skills that I can apply to every facet of my life. When you are working, going to school, balance is key. I really try to practice what I preach to my students. As an online faculty member, I stress the importance of time management, and I demonstrate that by example. A Christian worldview is important to me in all facets of my life because it is a huge part of who I am. And I want to make sure I'm demonstrating that not only to my students, but to my children. I plant these seeds that when they're older, they're also demonstrating God's love through service. GCU's community is welcoming, whether you attend on campus, online, or in the evening. We are all one big family.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
GCU men's basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. And by SRP, delivering water and power. A little chilly in the valley. Some snow to the north. Breaking it down, Mastodons, Mammoths. You know, Ice Age, you've seen the movie. Mastodons slightly smaller. Their tusks are also a little shorter, I might add. Both were herbivores. Scott brought that fact to us earlier tonight. Mammoths appeared about 5.1 million years ago. Mastodons appearing 27 to 30 million years ago.
I love it. I like both of those animals. Have you ever gone to see one of those at like a museum, like the mastodons and the mammoths with the huge tusks?
Yeah.
It's an impressive beast.
And they ate plants?
Are they related to like elephants then?
I would have to think so, right?
Kind of right. Gotta be.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Why anybody would want to, you get these hunters that want to shoot these elephants for their tusk or poach them or whatever. I just couldn't. I would like to see somebody try to go up on one of those mastodons or woolly mammoths. Yeah, let's see you go get one of those bad boys.
Yeah, that'd be stare at one of those. Nasty.
Yeah, I boycott some of those restaurants. Those hunters take these exotic animals out.
Let's send it down to Kate Longworth.
Yes, guys, this just in. During halftime, there was quite the competition happening beyond just this basketball game. That's right. It was the diaper derby. I don't know. Does this count? I would agree with that. He was off
Look at the eyes. Look at the focus.
Start there.
Look at that.
Look at the precision.
But if you take it away from him, he's got his eyes focused on the prize. Why? Because that prize is from Arizona 529. $529.
He used goldfish and Cheetos, the juicy
Cheerios.
But I love that parents were breaking out all the stops on that one. They had some snacks. Maybe they starved their kids all day. They didn't get to eat on Thanksgiving, they said. But for the diaper derby, no, I think they're good parents. I don't think that
Cheerios.
Took it out of this guy.
Some people just can't handle the competition here. It's just a little too much.
Wow, that was a rout.
Yeah, that was a turkey. And of course, we even have coaches, wives, and families out here right now. And Arizona, AZ529.gov is who sponsored this diaper derby at halftime. And so you can head there for more information. It's a great program offering money that you can put aside, tax deductible, and that'll go towards your child's education. And it can be used in a lot of ways. So you want to check that out because it's never too early. You can start saving when they're in diapers is what we're learning today, right, guys? And Barry, you can attest for this. You've got a daughter at University of Arizona right now. How's that on the bank account?
Oh, well, I wish we would have started saving when she was in a diaper. Oh, well.
Well, Lopes got off to that fast start, Barry, and then he got it. They cut that lead down to 4, and then all of a sudden, 5 quick ones by the Mastodons push it right back up to a 9-point lead.
Travel on labor. Maybe the training staff needs Cheerios and goldfish over at that bench. Motivate them a little bit.
It's the first time I've seen Coach Marley sit down. He drew up a play, called timeout, and drew up a play, and his team came out and turned the basketball over. He may have to hit that pink bottle sometime here in the second half. Things don't improve.
Demir Black. Brown got a hand on it. Stifled that attempt. Just need to go on a run. Scott mentioned that in the opening half. Haven't been able to do it. Nice move by J.J. Ryan, falling down on the board.
Oh, the rhythm, the Ryans. Coach wanted a little X action there at that free throw line, and he got Ryans going hard to the hole.
Hustling his way back. Oh, look at that.
Ryans just does a little bit of everything, doesn't he, Barry? 4 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists tonight. This one right here. He just said, I'm not taking anything from the outside. I'm just going right down to the basket, hard hat, lunch pail, and then look at this one more time here. Just too many dribbles outside. Somebody on the outside's got to collapse on that ball handle. He dribbled the ball that hard against Laver. I don't care how big you are. You can't give a guy pounding the ball 7 times in your painted area before somebody comes over there and tries to dig it out.
Benford.
Oh, they got it. I thought the two Lopes players were fighting for it along the baseline there. I thought it was going to go out of bounds.
Benford, a 40% free throw shooter. Johnson. Oh. Loose ball, Godfrey.
Carried that ball.
Yep.
Yeah, referee's right on top of that. Try to get a tricky dribble on that left wing there. Act like he was going to pull up for the jumper and then put it back down one more time. Just watch that hand just goes right over the top of the basketball. And, sometimes they'll let you get away with that at the next level, but not so often here in college.
Both teams with 7 turnovers. Johnson, near side, Laver comes over. A little bit of room. Johnson not there. Rebound pulled down by the Mastodons. Godfrey, off of his foot. Blackshear. Brown. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was a great job by Blackshear jumping on that loose ball, and I thought Brown, he hesitated, waited for his bigger teammate to catch up, but Brown uncharacteristically was not able to get that one to go down.
Some authority around the hoop.
I'm not sure Brown's a dunker. I can't remember seeing him dunk in practice or even in warm-ups, but you're right. Maybe a little more power to the basket rather than trying to get cute with it and sneak it in off the glass. Just go right up through the defender's chest. Try to finish with some contact. The worst case scenario, you go to the line and shoot a couple free throws.
Billups was fouled by Laver, his second personal foul. 9-point Mastodons lead. Godfrey, DeBerry, long distance, big rebound.
Lopes needed to stop on that possession. They could ill afford to go down double digits here in the second half. They need a bucket.
Oh, heavy traffic. Foul there. Number 11, Dylan Carl.
Everybody was trying to go for a steal there when they saw a little pass to the mid post or the high post there to Laver, and down there ran him over trying to get to the ball.
Purdue Fort Wayne ranking 34th nationally with 65 steals coming into the game. Laver looking for somebody, finds Blackshear near the baseline. Pulls back out, jumper. Short, Laver's there. Trying to gather it in, and he's fouled. Looks like Deontay Billups.
Nice job that time. Blackshear, he recognized there was only 3 seconds left to go on the shot clock before it exploded, and Laver saw the same thing and said, I'm just going to go to the glass and get inside position and out hustle everybody for the rock.
Billups has 3 personal fouls, going to check out.
Laver's got to start making these free throws now. These are becoming important. I know it's 13 minutes left to go in the game, but you got to start getting this back into a 1 or 2 possession ball game.
Holba in. Johnson checks out. Okpo in. Big free throws there by Laver. Lead is 7 for Purdue Fort Wayne. Carl, look at that.
Now trying to think for his teammate there. He thought he was going to continue on to the basket there. Try to sneak one by the ear of Blackshear, but threw it out of bounds. A little one more time here. He just thinks he's going to throw it right behind the ear hole. Blackshear, his teammate's going to run behind him and grab it and lay it in.
Slowing it down on offense. Brown, 3. Ooh, not there. Laver. Oh, nice rebound by Laver.
wonder if they might try to ring that up as a flop. Labor does dribble in there, and there's a little contact, but hey, the guy went down like he shot like a cannon. That's. I don't know how the officials could buy what he was selling on that one. Maybe just some inexperience on the officiating crew on that one.
Godfrey moves left, looks back out. Carl leaves for Rollins. Godfrey, Holba for three, get it out, blocks it.
Down 7, where are the Lobes going to go here for a bucket?
Blackshear, how about that?
I like that. Just step Labor out there off that elbow. He gets just enough of Blackshear's man, and Blackshear's able to get all the way to the hole. I like that they went inside for a bucket. 11 points now for Blackshear.
Picked off. Throwing it down.
This is what they did in their last basketball game. After having a bunch of turnovers in 2 games at the Virgin Islands, they slowed it down. They were able to take a lead. Oh, but now another turnover.
Little hesitation drive. Woo, the road is clear ahead. Godfrey with 21 points. Came into the game 14.6 after. Brown, Labor. Carl on him. Holba comes over to support. Blackshear open look for three. Short. Big rebound. Rhymes.
I know Blackshear got a clean look at that basket from the 3-point range, but you have mentioned some of his early struggles, on his young freshman year. I'd like to see him just keep going to the basket. There's nothing wrong with going to the hoop like this and getting some nice buckets inside.
Okay, it'll take us around the WAC when we return.
I'm Brittany, and this is Ask GCU. Hi, I'm Brittany Holwyn, and you should watch Ask GCU,
where we answer your questions every week.
And the points don't matter. Wait, what?
Tune in every week for answers to be questioned.
Where we answer your questions in a common... all right.
I'm a professional banter! Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
There's an exciting destination for food, fun, and golf in the heart of Phoenix. Come to the GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain real-world experience and deliver unmatched service. Enjoy beautiful amenities like a resort-style pool, full-service fitness center, championship golf course, and coffee shop GCBC. Canyon 49 Grill serves American fare all day and happy hour with a great vibe and Lopes pride. Room rates start at $89 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com today.
All right, well, we know you're tired after Thanksgiving and shopping on Black Friday, so just sit back as we take you around the WAC. Tonight's game between GCU and Purdue Fort Wayne is a continuation of the Summit League WAC Challenge, and right now you'll see the record for WAC squads 1 and 2 in the Summit League Challenge, and Utah Valley is responsible for that victory. They defeated North Dakota State. Also in action tonight, UMKC, they have a 6-point lead over Western Illinois as we speak. Meanwhile, Jarrell Brown from Seattle leads the WAC in scoring. He's averaging 22 points per game. And it's a tight race in the WAC. Something we haven't seen in previous seasons is that these teams are really still working out the kinks. Every WAC squad right now has 4 or 5 losses, but then you'll see some of the usual suspects leading the way with New Mexico State out there. But again, it hasn't been a shoo-in in this preseason. So when WAC season kicks off in just a couple weeks, and you'll see it here all on Fox 10 Extra, it's going to be exciting, guys. A couple weeks to figure this all out, right?
Yep, and hopefully some players come back. Got Mikey Dixon coming back, the transfer from St. John's. A few weeks, middle part of December. Oscar Freyer also. Off the glass and in for Patrick. That's tough coming out of the break.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit, though. They executed their play and got themselves the bucket that they wanted. Now the Lopes can get the bucket on there, and then they drew up.
Brown from Johnson. Bam!
Well, I'm not sure if Coach Marley drew it up that way for Johnson to make a hook pass out of the post to the far side with a three-point shot, but I know he'll take the three.
Moving the ball around quickly. Black. Holba. Wide by Urko. Holba. Back out. Black. Quickly. Patrick looking to move on Brown. Back out. Holba. Air ball with about 3 on the shot clock.
Yeah, you know, that's a great defensive effort. We've seen the Lopes a few times sit down and play some good defense, but look at this one more time by CJ. Maybe that was a design play, because you can look, his eyeballs were kind of looking to see if he had a clear passing lane to fire that ball over to Brown. But I love that defensive possession set there. That was really good. Forced him into a long 3 as the shot clock was about to explode.
Lead is 6. Johnson trying to move in on Godfrey. Knocked out by Godfrey.
Godfrey's a little athletic player, isn't he? He seems like he just moves so effortlessly with the basketball on the offensive end, and then showing some good, like you say, leapers to jump up and poke that ball out of bounds. 7 to shoot.
Benford in. Jenkins. Not there. Johnson battles for the rebound. Underneath. Loose ball. No foul. Black. Kick back out. Long time for Godfrey to look at that one. Just can't get close enough. Can't get on that run.
He's trying to stay positive, Barry, but these three-point shots, I 7 seconds to shoot. It's a short shot clock. It's not about to expire. These long threes, when you're going inside for buckets, just keep going inside for buckets. I just don't understand it. The one by Jenkins is a tough shot there, but look at this one here. That's just the old pick, and I'm going to pop out here to the corner. Did that hit the glass? Are you kidding me? He's smiling. He realized he got lucky on that one, but it still counts for 3 points on that scoreboard. And then the Lopes find themselves down 9 again. He tried to trade threes. Got it at 6. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Jenkins, he hadn't hit an outside shot all night, fires up a 3. He's the last guy you want shooting in that situation. He's working hard, but he's hurting the Lopes right now with these outside shots he's taking. He's got to start banging guys inside or have a seat. Rains, of course. Get to the free throw line. You got the front end of a one-on-one and miss it.
They're Black. Far side. DeBerry. Bounce pass. Benford. Leaves it there for Patrick for 3. Yikes. Laver's going to check back into the game.
They're down double digits now. 12-point deficit. Under 8 to play. This is hardly the position I would have thought the Lopes would be in tonight. They're just not ready to play tonight.
Foul on the Mastodons, who, as you mentioned, are up 56-44 here in the second half, as we are now under 8 to go at 7:52. And what a shocker here for the Lopes. They seem to be able to kind of climb back into it. They're down just by 6, and then before you have time to blink, it's 12. I mean, they're hitting the threes, and they're really a lot of uncontested shots, where Marley told Kate at the half, they've just got to play harder. We're not seeing a lot of that right now.
Give the defensive effort. Yeah. They're just not, either it's blown assignments, not finding the shooters, being spread out by the Mastodons, not hustling back to get a hand in the shooter's face, not running them off that three-point line that we talked about earlier was going to be so important that this team shoots so well. They have the 4th most made three-point shots in the nation. It's not hard to figure out where their strength may lie, and yet the Lopes are letting them do exactly what they want.
Yep, definitely the Mastodons. When we take a look at some of the highlights here in the second half, are stepping out on top here.
I like some of the early action that they had coming out of that locker room. It was almost like Coach Marley said, start taking the ball to the basket, because Blackshear and Laver did that right away. And then when they got them sucked back in, yeah, they'll make the occasional three-point shot, but this is not a three-point shooting basketball club. Their strength is trying to get that ball in that painted area. You got guys like Johnson and Laver that can do damage inside. Jenkins, if he ever puts his mind to it, he can go inside and get some buckets. J.J. Ryan's not afraid to put his hard hat and grab his lunch pail and take it to the rack. Just not enough consistency defensively, and just not being smart basketball players on the offensive end. This Lope team's got a long way to go to try to find their game before the WAC conference play starts.
Well, for every three-point shot that GCU does make, Canyon State Credit Union will make a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, go to giving.gcu.edu. 6-0 run over the last minute for Purdue Fort Wayne. 4 of their last 5 from the field, while the scoring drop for the Lopes is 216 and counting. Blackshear at the line.
This is where Blackshear Jr. and Laver have got to start taking over. And I know that's a lot of pressure to put on a freshman. Hadn't played in 10 games yet.
Well, somebody's got to take a leadership role. Somebody's got to take command. Blackshear is nailed by Holba.
Yeah, and that's Oak Post's fault. That's Oak Post's guy that just laid out Blackshear. He's back at the free throw line while his man's out at the half-court line, nearly the half-court line, and takes Blackshear down. And Blackshear just went and got in his case about, hey, you got to let me know that pick is coming.
Oh, man.
You'll break my neck out here trying to guard 40 feet away from the basket, and you're letting me get picked off like that.
Whiplash.
Pull learn. Those two freshmen will play a lot of basketball together over the next 4 years. And Blackshear let him know, we're not going to play like that.
Brown, floater. Ooh, doesn't go. 10-point lead for the Mastodons. Lopes are 7-11 from the free throw line here this half. Really, one thing that's been working for him. Driving, foul,
Laver got over there just a fraction too late. He elevates. I think he gets clean with the hands, but let's see if there's body contact here. Yeah, that lower body contact with Laver on the move. If he's already established this position and goes straight up, I don't think that's a foul. But because he's a fraction slow getting over to that spot, it's an easy call for the officials.
That's 4 personal fouls on Laver.
Oh no!
And he remains on the floor.
Well, he's played with 4 a number of times this season. He can't afford to take him out. They're down 11, maybe 12 after this next free throw. Chewing on that clean mouthpiece. That was supposed to be the lucky mouthpiece after he got a couple wins here at home, but not keeping him out of foul trouble tonight.
Got it free back in for Demir Black. 7 minutes to go. Picked off. On the floor. Back out. Patrick. Left hand. Not there, but the putback is. The Mastodons hustling up the court. Holba.
Yeah, Mastodons wanted more. They're scrapping on a defense. Lope sloppy with the basketball, throwing it right where the hands are with these outside perimeter passes. Nobody penetrating that zone defense. And then hustling back, no one hustling back and getting a body on somebody, keep them off the glass.
Foul committed, looked like Cameron Denford.
The smallest guy on the floor keeps taking the ball to the basket. But look at this one more time. Caught ball watching, half-second slow. And let this follow jam come in. Second time tonight, someone's got a nasty follow jam on Lope's floor. This is just not a Lope's team that the student body faculty, all the havocs, and the Lopes fans are used to watching. I don't know how much longer Coach Marley is going to watch this style of play before he starts making some major changes to the guys that he's putting out there on the floor.
Team that was 12-2 on their home court a season ago. Billings. Patrick. Big right hand. Oh, my. Oh, just climbed up over the rim.
But just letting the guy curl to the basket and getting the ball below the letters in the center of your floor, that just can't happen defensively. I don't know how he's getting picked off or pinned, whoever his defender is. But at some point in time, it's just a matter of, do I want to guard and stay in front of my guy?
Johnson in the corner, looks for three, not there.
I got to see one more of these three-point shots, Barry. You may have to do the rest of this game by yourself. This is frustrating to even watch as a broadcaster. I know that coaching staff has got to be fed up. You're not a three-point shooting team. If you want to think you're going to get back into this 14-point deficit by shooting threes, you got another thing coming. You got to go on a run where you're taking the ball to the basket.
Blackshear and Labor, 31 points combined. And again, Carl pokes that away from Labor. Godfrey, Patrick.
Legal screen out there on the top there by Carl. Did a nice job poking that ball back out, but that's one of those ones where Carl's teammates got to let him get his feet set before he tries to come off the screen, just as much as Carl's got to get his feet set before the screen occurs.
Mentioned Blackshear and Labor with 31 points, 10 of 19 from the field. The rest of the team, 17 points, 6 of 23.
There you have it right there. You got a couple guys that wanted to play, and most everybody else on the team decided that they wanted to stay on vacation for the holiday weekend.
And field goals for the Lopes, 5:05 and counting. Johnson. Labor in the corner. Pushed back out. Johnson, he'll drive baseline. He's stopped there, and he's picked off by DeBerry.
These guys just thought they were better than they really are. I think sometimes that you have a decent season the season before, you get named all wackiness, and you come back out here and think it's going to be easy for you. So, you know, when your goals don't meet your preparation, you got problems. And right now, the goals for the Lopes are so high and their preparation so low that those two things can't even come close to coming together.
And I think some folks need to have some team goals rather than me goals. Blackshear, long distance. Thank you, Javon Blackshear.
Yeah, they needed that one. And you think with 4 minutes to go, could the Lopes put on a miracle run if they could start, like I say, sitting down on this defensive end and getting some shots? But they got to continue to rely on their outside shots to go in. I don't know if there's enough time left on this score clock to have them come back and win this basketball game.
Godfrey, hoop and a harm. Brown called.
I'm going to take a look at the scouting, the game notes here, and find out what the career high for this young man is, because right now, Godfrey's having his way with the Lopes.
Let's actually do it right.
Hi guys, what's up? Have you guys ever heard of Ask GCU?
I have heard of it.
I have before, yeah.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
Why should go to GCU?
Probably the best food place.
You know, we all love food.
Yeah.
So probably that episode.
What's the best way to drink a stampede?
Go Carts. What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
All of them.
Yeah, thank you.
My favorite episode is probably where they asked about the Chick-fil-A line.
The breakfast one's pretty good.
The one where you guys talk about the best places to have breakfast on campus and everyone said Chick-fil-A.
That's the best breakfast I ever had.
The Welcome Week episode.
The Welcome Week one, that one's really clutch.
The Welcome Week where Brittany jumps around into people's cars and asks them questions. Remember, kids, don't get into people's vehicles.
I just really like you guys.
I just like when you're in it.
You too.
Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
67-51 in favor of the Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne over the Lopes. And Jared Godfrey, the sophomore guard from Atlanta, Georgia, has a career-high 26 points for the Mastodons. That 24 in the season opener for Purdue Fort Wayne at UNLV.
And Barry, he's doing it and he's making it look easy. He's not one of those 26 points on 30 shots like Allen Iverson used to take. Kid's 11 of 16 from the field. He's only made 2 threes. So he's basically taking the fight right to the Lopes, putting it, just saying, here I come, see if you can stop me. We've got 9 field goals in and around that basket. So Lopes just have not had an answer for anybody or as a group that can stop him. 11 of 16 in 32 minutes.
Look who's at the free throw line. Trying to close out a 3-point.
He's 2 for 2 from the line right now. He's trying to go 3 for 3 here. He says, hey, I got a shot at 30.
Lopes need to take stuff like this personal, you know?
We had mentioned a few games back where the Lopes were going to find some leadership from this ball club. They had so many leaders leave this team from a year ago. Who was going to step up and take on that leadership role? And obviously they're still searching for somebody.
Yep.
Come out in that zone defense again. Hey.
Oh, Laver. So tight, turns, puts it in, Alessandro Laver.
Yeah, showing some patience. If anything tonight, seen that Laver has been able to be effective around that basket, just with a series of good footwork, head and shoulder fakes, ball fakes, and patience.
18 for Laver. Taking his time, Godfrey. DeBerry. Patrick. Averaging 15 points per game. Oh, look at that, no look. Blackshear's going to foul Godfrey.
Godfrey again going back to the free throw line again. You guys sitting on 27, and somebody got caught ball watching. All he does is make a direct cut straight back to the basket. Loses the defender. Blackshear's got to take the hard foul and see if he can prevent him from getting easy too. The way this kid shoots free throws, he's got everything working right now. The sauce is just perfect. Yeah. Until I put the commentator jinx on him. First free throw he's missed tonight.
Blackshear's first.
Working so hard on these Lopes tonight, and maybe not appreciative enough of what the Mastodons have come in here and done. Maybe that's just a little frustration. Always want the Lopes to play well, but you really got to give a lot of credit. The team in black has really put on a show tonight. It's been fun to watch the way that they have executed versus the way the Lopes have executed tonight.
Johnson for 3, in and out. Carl with the rebound.
Well, Lopes, they'll watch this film and then hopefully burn it, because there's not a whole lot to learn from in this one. Got to get some more contributions from the other guys not named Laver and Blackshear Jr., but you got a couple days to get in that lab, in that practice facility, and work on what's ailing you. And you come back out fresh on Tuesday against Mount St. Mary's. They're coming in here thinking they can get a win too.
Yeah, they're playing good basketball.
Give Coach Kaufman some love too, because this is not an easy environment. A lot of teams come in here and struggle with the noise and the crowd level, and his guys, they never got rattled, even when the Lopes went on that 10-1 run there towards the end of the first half. They did not let that bother them. They built their lead back up to 9 points and came out here in the second half and just dominated.
Hobo fouls Laver. Kaufman, a former 3-year starter at Washington and Lee University, still holds the school records for most threes made in a game. No wonder his team does so well at it. And he also had 7 in that career record for the school, and free throws made in a game. He had 18 free throws made in one game.
Oh my goodness, it's a month's worth.
Former assistant at Colgate, Stetson, College of Charleston. Final year in the Summit League for the Mastodons. Next season in the Horizon League.
On the record of 5-5. Feeling good about coming out here to the desert. They didn't get the warm weather that they probably thought that they were going to get. They brought them chilly temperatures down here with them. We've had that. I don't know if you got where you were at, but I had a lot of hail.
Yeah. Oh, I don't get it.
Yeah, we had wind, hail, and wind, thunder, lightning. A lot of down trees in Scottsdale. But Mastodons, I guess that's Mastodon and Mammoth weather. It didn't bother them one bit.
Under a minute.
Go, they're cruising to victory.
And Johnson follows the shooter.
More or less sums up what has been going on tonight. Just lack of focus defensively, fouling an outside shooter where there's really no need to do anything, just to put a hand in the face, try to bother the shooter. And defense, they just could never figure out how to put the clamps on the Mastodons. 70 points now.
Johnson finishes with 4 points, 1 of 11 from the field.
Okay, 4 points. Final game out there in Virgin Islands. Struggled again tonight. So I understand scores sometimes go through slumps, but there's other things you could do to help a ball club when you're struggling, and that you do that, most of that on the defensive end. You can't say that happened tonight either.
Drops for J.J. Rhymes. Even Spry in the game. Carlos Johnson out. Blackshear on the bench as well.
It'll be interesting to see how these Lopes respond. You know, some guys have that something inside of them and make them want to come out and compete better and practice and harder and get ready for the next game. And other guys want to just sulk and pout about it and not work. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on in practice the next couple days. I know I'll be there, and I want to see how guys respond to getting coached up, or maybe dressed down a little bit too from their lack of effort tonight, and who's going to pick up their play and who's going to emerge as a leader on this club over these next 4 or 5 ball games. Who's going to emerge as that team leader on the floor?
We've seen in the past with Jared Martin, Dwayne Russell, rallying the team, clapping their hands, getting up off the bench. Show some fight, show some emotion. Spry back to Brown. He's going to put up a 3. Good. That's it. The Lopes fall 71-60 to the Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne. The Lopes drop to 3-6 on the season, while the Mastodons improve to 5-5.
Just not enough energy on the defensive end tonight. Outside of a couple good performances from Laver and Blackshear on the offensive end, that's about all I want to say about that game.
We'll be back to wrap things up here from GCU Arena in Phoenix. The Lopes fall by 11.
Let's actually do it right.
Hi guys, what's up? Have you guys ever heard of Ask GCU?
I have heard of it.
I have before, yeah.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
Why I should go to GCU?
Probably the best food place.
We all love food. Yeah. So probably that episode.
That's the best way to drink a stampede.
Go Cards.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
All of them.
Yeah. Thank you.
My favorite episode is probably where they asked about the Chick-fil-A line.
The breakfast one's pretty good.
The one where you guys talk about the best places to have breakfast on campus and everyone said Chick-fil-A.
That's the best breakfast I ever had.
The Welcome Week episode.
The Welcome Week one, that one's really clutch.
The Welcome Week where Brittany jumps around into people's cars and asks them questions. Remember, kids, don't get into people's vehicles.
I just really like you guys.
I just like it when you're in it.
You too.
Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
(71-60) the final score. Purdue Fort Wayne victorious over the Lopes here at GCU Arena in Phoenix. Now, a tough one for Lopes fans as the team coming back after a 5-point win against Illinois State to close out the Paradise Jam. They come back here and they certainly didn't have any momentum after that win in the Virgin Islands.
No. Just a butt.
We're stunned, folks.
It is stunning.
Yeah, it really is.
I thought, that they had a little momentum coming out of that game, but they really let this Mastodons team do what they've been doing to opponents and forcing them into some tough shots, taking away their strength inside. Only got 3 fast break points the entire game. Didn't get out a chance to rebound and run before the Dons had a chance to set that defense. They've been holding the teams to 40% shooting or less the last 2 ball games. Guess where the Lopes finished tonight? 40%.
Yeah, my fear is that the same reaction or same team performance against Fordham was kind of duplicated on the road there. It was duplicated here tonight against the Mastodons, but it's time now for our Canyon State Credit Union player of the game. Canyon State Credit Union committed to you. Let's go with Javon Blackshear, right?
Yeah, I like the way, this little rookie, and nobody else wanted to play basketball with him and Laver. He stepped up his game, 18 points, 5 of 11 shooting, attacked the basket a bunch. He got a couple big steals that ignited some offense for the Lopes. And then, like I say, he'll go in there and he'll rebound a little bit. He'll box somebody out. He's not afraid to throw his 165 pounds around. So I got to go with Blackshear because the kid shows me that even when things are going rough, he doesn't quit. Now, he doesn't play a perfect game, but he knocked a couple shots down from the outside. And then he started, using his legs to be able to drive the ball to the basket. And he got some buckets to go inside as well. So why not give it to this young man? You're a freshman. You're out there doing what he did in a losing performance. That was impressive.
Yeah, and he even took paid the price there at midcourt there.
That's right.
His head flung back.
Okpo will learn from that one.
Yeah, that'll hopefully be rectified by the other freshmen on the GCU basketball team. An upcoming schedule, Mount St. Mary's will be here on Tuesday evening at a 7 p.m. tip before the Lopes will be traveling to Talking Stick Resort Arena and the Colangelo Classic downtown. 4:30 tip-off against Liberty on December 8th. Northern Iowa here on the 12th. And then out on the road, New Mexico. Mikey Dixon returns, I believe, for that game at New Mexico. And then Eastern Illinois is taking on the Lopes here on December 21st. All those games on Fox 10 Extra. Well, the return perhaps of Mikey Dixon. We're still awaiting word on Oscar Freyer. They definitely need some bodies, right? They need these guys are piling up some minutes. You could find that maybe as an excuse, but they need a guy. They need a scorer like Mikey Dixon.
They get nothing off their bench. 2 points off the bench in the first half. I don't know if they got anything off the bench in the second half. So that'll make the bench a little bit deeper, give them somebody to go in and they can get some offense, maybe take the ball out of the freshman's hand a little bit as well.
Let's revisit your 3 keys to the game, brought to you by Sanderson Ford, as they had kind of a Thanksgiving theme.
Yeah, turkey trot. We wanted them to get out and run a little bit more than they did. They weren't able to get those easy, fast break buckets, so their field goal percentage really struggled down to 40%. They didn't turn the basketball over that much tonight, but it was those key turnovers when they were trying to make a run. They had it maybe at 6 or 7 point deficit, and then they turned the basketball over. And then the last piece of that was rebounding. I don't think that they did a strong enough job on the glass to make a difference there. Just a 2-point advantage on the glass.
All right, we will be back with you for our next telecast against Mount St. Mary's, the Mountaineers, here Tuesday night. Kate Longworth will have the pregame show at 6:30, tip at 7. But that'll do it here from GCU Arena tonight. The Lopes losing to the Mastodons 71-60. As I mentioned, please join us again Tuesday night. GCU hosting Mount St. Mary's, 6:30 pregame. But until then, for Kay Longworth, Scott Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Barry Butel, wishing you a wonderful Saturday night.